can't do it, bro. I have like a Fortniter's brain. I can't do this.
You have TikTok brain. You can't even fake it for the views?
Bro, I can't do this. I can't do this. It was 10 minutes of them talking. I want to brains out, bro. Like, I want to watch some Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the new video game. I need some flashy, like, thing in my face. Bro, I can't do this, bro. I can't do this. How the does Nick do this? I can't do this.
Well, you just make jokes about it. You make fun of it. Okay, let's unpack some of the stuff we heard. So he brought up pretty much all the same talking points that he said on Aiden's stream. Did you see that?
The repetitive thing is really bothering me. Because, like, bro, that's one of the only reasons why I'm always late with your content. Is like you, Nick, Trump, you guys are so good at being a little repetitive, which is so good for sales because there's always new people watching in chat. So it's like, that's how you grow. But I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do the repetitive thing. I don't like repetition, bro. I can't do it.
Well, I mean,
I can't do it.
That actually depicts the problem that Trump is having with this campaign right now. He's alienated his loyalists because he's trying to get new people so badly. So the original diehard supporters are getting jaded and tired. Man.
Bro, we spent a year saying and all sorts of slurs. And after they opened that free speech lane for you and me and everyone, everything else became boring. Like, if my candidate isn't calling me the slur, bro, I don't want to watch this shit. Like, how boring is this? I miss Joe Biden.
What do you miss about Joe?
It was way funnier when it was Joe and Trump.
Mm-hmm.
This J.D. Vance is boring.
Yeah.
He's inoculated Trump.
I don't like J.D. Vance at all. There's nothing to like about him. Never Trumper.
As soon as the RNC happened, this wave of... I forgot he even got shot.
I know. He killed the momentum. I've never seen somebody fumble so much aura that quickly. Getting shot in the ear is...
like me. He's like me, bro. He's like a streamer that forgot how to stream.
He had peak. He was at the top, number one on every single platform after getting shot. And then J.D. Vance instead of Vivek, which we could have got Hindu on Hindu, Vivek versus Kamala Harris. That could have been peak comedy, them going back and forth. No, you're the bad president. You're the good president. That would have been peak comedy. Instead, he picked J.D. Vance for some reason. And this guy was, he was a never Trumper in 2016, right?
Yeah. He called him Hitler.
Yep. He called him Hitler. And now he's the vice president. So there's no energy.
The never Trumpers I could forgive. But someone who was you're literally Hitler, I would never forgive someone like that.
Well, okay, this is historic regardless. We can't be like putting on MAGA hats every single day, screaming MAGA on the hotel balcony, and not listen to the guy being interviewed by Elon Musk, a presidential candidate on X right now. You can't not listen to that.
Dude, Stingo, it's not like I could sit and try and do it. There's two voices. One saying, you go play Flappy Birds or something like that. And the second voice is, Zherka, you're 30 and you don't have an adult attention span. This is scaring the hell out of me, bro. And when I started getting into your political content, I kept wondering, I'm like, I know I'm more intelligent than Sneeko by miles, but he's more intelligent because he can actually hold on to this political stuff. I can do for a few weeks and then I burn out. Dude, you could actually do it. I think you could actually talk Destiny every day and blah, blah, blah. You could get on Piers Morgan stuff. Bro, if I hear October 7th one more time, I'm going to brains out.
It's important to hear the repetition, though, because then they're exposing themselves. Maybe, okay, but we probably were just not talking enough and not unmuting it.
Okay, how in my head did I make Elon and Trump like a Goku and Vegeta thing, and it turned out to be boring? Like, bro, when I think of collabs that should be interesting without trying, this is one of them.
Yeah, this is peak.
There's something going on that I'm about to say, man. Something is making Kamala and the blue side a little more interesting this year. And our side is like, everyone's nerfed. Even Elon sounds nerfed. And Elon said, oh, Disney. I don't give a about investors. And we forgot about that too. Like, he's boring too.
Boring too,
bro,
yeah.
I find myself watching Kamala clips. And I hate but I watch her clips. The only thing I liked was the Trump and Aiden thing. Believe it or not, as much as people made fun of that, that real world, Trump talking to a child, it. I like seeing that.
It was
I
interesting.
cannot. Yeah, whatever this is that we're doing on Twitter right now, and I think I got influenced too because I saw Arthur and everyone on Twitter say this is boring, this is boring, this is boring, and these are like mature political types saying it. And when I saw 10 of those tweets, it got in my head, and I'm like, is it boring? Is it? And dude, I would rather not be bored than I would rather go to World War III than be bored,
Jesus
dude.
Christ, bro! You just want the chaos of World War III happen rather than have some stability. I mean, I get it. He's making the same mistakes that he made in 2020. The reason, even though they rigged the election, the reason that he lost was because he was boring. He was just playing the classics. He wasn't doing anything new. How do you lose to Joe Biden? It should have been a sweep. You have to go. You have to play. But now he's become the swamp that he used to want to drain. Elon Musk should have been like the outsider, exciting guy. Also, let's be honest. If Susan Wojcicki, rest in peace, if she hosted a YouTube live stream with Kamala Harris, we would all shit on it nonstop. We would say that this is part of the establishment, that this should never happen. A CEO of a major company like this should not be able to host a presidential candidate on the biggest platform in the world. We would all call it out. Elon is doing the same thing on the right. And we're like, yeah, these are are they really outsiders at this point? We got these two people who position themselves as independent, whatever. They're sticking it up to the man and all this stuff. They're yapping about October 7th in a Twitter space covering the same talking points that were said on Aiden Ross's stream.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like it feels like who's the realer candidate, XUC or Aiden Ross? Well, Aiden said there's two genders, so Aiden's more based than XUC. Therefore, Aiden is not establishment, and XUC is. But they're both watered down. Like they're not Nick. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what's happening with the Trump and Kamala thing, where it's like, bro, they both feel bought out this year, especially. Bro, I thought I really can't stand JD, but did you see the trans photos? It's not a movement, bro.
I saw that.
He did drag twice
at Yale. I mean, Yale is
as a military guy, and I
Yale is the home of the Skull and Bones Society. There's a lot of that. Everyone knows Yale is the hub of that.
Bro, listen. I'm from a military family, so I hate to say this, but worldwide, internationally, and American military, as much as I love them, do you know how hard they go for that gay? There's been documentaries made about elites at the top of all military countries on earth, and it's not satanic like we're just labeling them. They actually do rituals and stuff, and they all do shit. And this blew me away. I hate to say this. Do you know how many there are in the military? Like, JD Vance is not just one of them. And this perspective blew me away because this is a warrior perspective of, do you know how many MMA fighters there are in the UFC? Have you seen that conspiracy?
Who are you? I mean, I see people talk about John Jones and Adesanya. I personally don't think so, but
Well, I'm not talking about them personally. I'm saying there was a theory that 80% of fighters are, and then fighters that were straight would laugh about that theory. And that's why I'm convinced JD Vance is actually, like, these military guys, there's a lot of them high ranking who are actually, and you'd never guess it because he's like a military guy. But I think JD, that drag wasn't for fun. I think he's actually like
it was a ritual.
Democrat.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's a Democrat.
He probably was a Democrat 10 years ago. And he made a giant mistake talking about Nick in that televised interview. I don't know why he would try to diss Nick now. He made the same mistake once with Trump, and then he's going to hold, those words are going to bite him alive. Ever since he said, like, Trump is Hitler, now it's going to bite him forever. Now he's going to say Nick is Hitler, that's going to bite him forever.
It's not biting him forever because this sounds crazy, but one in the chat, if you agree, it feels like Trump asks JD what to do. Does anyone else feel that energy?
Nah, he's been using the same talking points. We just expected after he got shot and said fight, fight, fight that he was going to be a rebel, and he just went right back to being establishment. Right? And it's nothing to do with JD. JD's just a puppet, but he should not have mentioned Nick because now Nick has all the excuses to go and attack him nonstop, and everybody's going to see it. That was a giant mistake to name drop him.
Is JD really a puppet, or is he the actual president? Because, bro, I don't remember Trump talking to Pence like this. The way Trump talks to JD is, it's like he's whispering in his ear, "Are they good with this? Can I do this?" And JD's like, "Yeah, you can do this." That's what it feels like.
Yeah, he's actually talked a lot about in Israel 10 times more since he got shot, since the JD Vance.
Yeah, no, he went from ignoring the whole conflict by talking about Ukraine So now it's now the opposition is Palestinian. He called Joe Biden Palestinian.
Yeah, he used it like an insult, which is really we don't speak about that enough. Using Palestinian as an insult is that's I mean, at this point, like, what is there to really be a Trump supporter about? Like, we have this idea of what MAGA should be, and it's not. I can't give you one policy or anything I'm excited about. I mean, hopefully he does a good job geopolitically and he prevents World War III, but the way he's talking about Iran, I'm not, it could just be campaign moves, but I'm not enthusiastic about the way he's talking about Iran.
Yeah, I don't think he'll. I mean, if he, dude, you know, if we go into war with Iran, you and I, we will have been so like, bro, we were gonna burn in hell tonight because we have platforms.
We're gonna burn it. Go to war with Iran. Why? I just tweeted no war with Iran.
Because we're the MAGA guys. If Trump goes to that war, you and I are.
Yeah, but I've been publicly speaking about the problems with the Trump campaign for a while. I mean, I do love the guy, and there's a lot of good things, but I've been very vocal about it. And is Kamala? Is Kamala really? Is she okay? But if say Kamala's elected, does that prevent war with Iran? Really?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right. They're gonna
what's the difference? It's just being involved in American politics. You know, there's nothing much. And now people are saying Mohammed Ajab was right, saying that he doesn't care if Trump lives or dies. When I heard him say that, I got offended. But listen, I mean, he called Biden a Palestinian. He's using October 7th like every other Zio. You know, he's not like us. He really doesn't align with us whatsoever. And it just shows that, I mean, we keep saying it, Nick is inevitable. This stuff in 2036 when he runs, it's not even comparable.
Yeah, I love Nick that he completely got aggressive after that Iran war tweet. That's what I love about Nick, is that he'll always go down in history as, you know how like the right's gonna make fun of him for going hard at Trump at a crucial moment like right now.
But at the same time, he points out like if he's really supportive of Trump, they're like, oh look, he's putting a stain on his campaign because a white supremacist is aligning with Trump.
Yeah, but history is going to remember Nick as the guy who they're going to say, well, he was a never Trumper when he was with JD Vance and stuff like that. But not really, bro. Nick's whole attitude shifted after that Iran war tweet. And I'm like, I wonder if we should take that more serious. And, Nick, he's the strategist, and he's convinced that Iran tweet is real, So, man, could you imagine if you got conscripted for war?
I don't think that would ever happen. I don't think that would ever.
Because you have a big platform, right? You can get out of it.
No one would ever blame me for that. I've said positive things, and I've always said spoken.
In a weird way, this is gonna sound really f***ed up, but I'm speaking to the deeper intellectual minds right now. In a weird way, a world would give a lot of incels this new meaning to live, and as scared as they'd be, they would welcome it more than the insanity of staying home and doing nothing with their lives. So it is like the perfect climate to send like incels to, but they are so soy now that it's like, could you imagine them at war?
There's no World War III, and we definitely don't want to. But we got to keep traveling before that happens, man. We got to enjoy this world.
But isn't there something? Wouldn't there be something also beautiful if it was inevitable? I'm not speaking into existence, but let's say I go and I never gotta wake up and do content and shit again because I got face.
Why are you smiling like you're kind of a masochist?
You're smiling inside too. We men love that war instead of like from old age. We love that, right? Like we don't love it when we're there. We're like, where's Pinky Doggy? But like, could you imagine if we died for something? Instead of bro, Stico, you and I, out of all the chatters here, for us, growing old is the worst because we have like a bit of the clout and stuff. So we don't grow old just like as a regular old man. We grow old and bitter that our lives used to be like this and more fast paced and blah blah blah. Like in our 70s, we're gonna look way worse than our chatters. Our chatters have very simple kind of like.
No, I got Asian black genetics. I'm not gonna age. I'm not gonna crack.
Stigo, be honest. You and I are more irritable. You, me, and Nick are more irritable, and Myron, than 100,000 chatters who are in our chat. Because, you know, the influencers are usually... But we were never this irritable when we started streaming.
I'm not irritable. I'm in a good mood. I just woke up. That's why.
Bro, I can't even have a dinner with you influencers without... Bro, I have to remind myself to smile when I'm around you influencers because I'm like, we're all very irritable. When you go and ask anyone who chills with an influencer, bro, it's like everything has to be perfect or I'm not going outside anymore and stuff like that. That irritability actually grows over time. So by the time you're 60 years old, you're going to be way more unhappy and cranky because we're used to everyone doing things for us, you know, like volunteer work and a bunch of people helping us out. And so if something goes wrong around us, we're too pampered, bro. That's why we need a war.
Speaking of, if you want a war, tweet something about war right now, and it's going to get a lot of energy. Nick just tweeted at me or at Sneeko Updates and said, War 2 W Sneak or something like that, like 2 minutes ago. What do you say? Link this. Yeah,
I always ask Nick. I'm like, what else do you need help with and stuff? You don't use me, and you barely use me. You don't tell me what to do. Like he's genuine. He's like, tweet what you want, right? And he's like, no, your tweets are great. You do great. And I'm like, bro, Nick, we're literally asking. My team is asking, what tweets do you want to push and stuff like that. Like, but I guess he wants us to just like and retweet us because. Man, I keep thinking the coolest part about becoming like 40 years old is imagine when Nick is actually in office because his competition is very low. Like, think about his generation when they're politicians.
It's not even close. The main opposition was Mr. Beast. Remember when Mr. Beast announced that he wanted to run for president? And he's the same age as me and Nick. He's 25. He said that he wants to run soon, and he's talking about, like, uniting everyone, and then he gets exposed for Chris and all this stuff. All these rats come out of the woodwork and try to cancel him, all this. And I was thinking, like, who has a better chance? And at that time, Mr. Beast probably did. More popularity, global superstar.
Let me save you some energy, bro. Mr. Beast is not getting canceled. He's not going away anytime soon.
So who wins? 2036, Nick versus Jimmy Donaldson. Who wins?
I'm a conspiracy guy, so I have to always go with money. But think about by then, the Knicks movement will
movement's going to be, it's going to keep on growing.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Beast is going to go in and fight against just hundreds of thousands of angry white dudes, and coming in as a white dude, he's not going to be able to say white. He's going to be boxed in. He'll play the card. He'll have money. He can invest in the campaign. Worldwide, he's loved all this stuff. But going against a movement like that is difficult.
I still remember when I started watching Nick. He was at such low viewers, like at 1,000. And I said, if he makes it through getting I predicted he'd be deplatformed off everything. I'm like, if he makes it, I said to that if he makes it through getting deplatformed off everything and is still relevant, let alone mainstream relevant with Kanye, right? If he does that, then he guarantees he's president because a human cannot overcome social media censorship. Once you're out, you're out. We've seen it.
Hey, what's going on?
No, not you.
Hey, yo, Ben.
You didn't get that censored.
What are you talking about?
I mean, like, bro, there was never a D-Live sneak. Well, I guess Rumble was nothing back then, right?
Rumble was D-Live when I started. when I started on Rumble 2 years ago.
Are you saying you made the only possible explanation, if you want Nick's claim to fame, is that you made Rumble?
I didn't make Rumble, but for Gen Z, like, everybody accredits me for making Gen Z know about Rumble. Let's be fair. When I first joined this website, I don't want to take credit.
Be president.
Hold on.
You and I don't have the attention spans to be president, bro.
That's not my point. That's not my point. But I'm saying, I can definitely take credit for being canceled and still be able to survive. Do you remember my Rumble? Remember when you first came my Rumble stream? The website was like Reddit in 2006. This website
I still remember saying, "Wow, Sneako's a famous kid." I went to his room with Arab and Yassine. I've never seen a slower chat in my life. I remember thinking that.
Yeah,
it was frozen.
Rumble's chat is still slow.
We'll have to give it a good name. We'll name it after
you. Okay, he's still going. Let's hear a little more.
No, it has a branding.
Let's hear a bit more.
You know, when you see what happened,
it doesn't have a branding problem.
When you see what happened in Japan, where they say you won't be able to go in the land for about 3,000 years. Did you ever see that?
Okay, you're muting. Oh, you left. No, just not gonna listen. We're not gonna listen.
No. I'm just listening. I'm listening because
No, he's not. You're watching Dragon Ball Z. Chad, is it worth listening to? What?
And then I'll come back. I'll come back.
Okay, no, just let's listen to 30 seconds. 30 seconds to catch up on the conversation, so we could stay in the loop while this is live. Okay, it's the name of the stream and everything.
Dangerous in Fukushima. I actually flew there and ate locally grown vegetables on TV to prove it. And I donated a solar water treatment, a solar powered system for a water treatment plant. And
Yeah, but you haven't
because
been
the
feeling
danger's
so
just-
well lately, and I'm worried about it.
No, but I mean,
I'm only kidding.
It's fine, you know. It's like Hiroshima and Nagasaki were bombed, but now they're like full cities again. So
Right,
it's
well, that's
really
great.
not
That's
something that
That's great.
So it's not as scary as people think, basically. But,
Real, bro.
What'd you say?
Nuclear warheads are not even real. Go look at that.
What is that supposed to make us think, that a man has the power of God, that he could destroy the whole world?
No, if you look at the blast radius, no human actually believes nukes are real. Like it's just a fireball can wipe out Manhattan. But if you look at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they were firebombed before they were nuked. That's what destroyed the cities. Then when they got nuked, they said, "Oh, it's gonna be radiation and blah blah blah." But they're hustling and bustling cities, bro. These are the biggest cities out there, man. And go look at the Nuketown propaganda where the nuke wipes out the fake built town, but it can't blow away the camera. And we're writing because the camera zoomed in, but it would. Do you know how big the blast radius is? That's impossible, and it wasn't zoomed in. They even say it. Go look at all nuclear tests. They say that they put a bunch of dynamite undersea to make one of the underwater nukes for the footage. And the more you look into nukes, the more like nuclear energy, yeah, they fight for it and stuff, but nukes, like splitting an atom can make a fireball that wipes out Manhattan. Bro, I can't believe I used to buy into this. Bro, when they say, hey, we're going to nuke a nation and they scare a nation, what they're really saying is they're going to bomb the shit out of it. They're not saying one bomb can wipe out Manhattan. No human actually believes in that blast radius. It's ridiculous. It's never been shown on camera or anything. It's so... And this is the biggest no-no in politics. If you say this in politics, you're out. Yeah,
So then how nervous are you really for World War III?
Very nervous, because it means they come into our backyard and shoot us.
Okay, let's listen to a little bit of the space. Maybe Trump's going to say something embarrassing. We farm a clip. We're not going to farm a clip talk about nuclear warheads. Can you try? Because even my editors are calling you lazy.